Taking constructive criticism like a champ. 1. Stop your first reaction. At the first sign of criticism, before you do anything, stop. Really. Try not to react at all. You'll have at least 1 second to stop your reaction. While 1 second seems insignificant in real life, it's ample time for your brain to process a situation. And at that moment, you can halt a dismissive facial expression or reactive quip and remind yourself to stay calm. 2. Remember the benefit of getting feedback. Now, you have a few seconds to quickly remind yourself of the benefits of receiving constructive criticism, namely, to improve your skills, work product, and relationships, and to help you meet the expectations that your manager and others have of you. You should also try to curtail any reaction you're having to the person who is delivering the feedback. It can be challenging to receive criticism from a coworker, a peer, or someone that you don't fully respect, but, remember, accurate and constructive feedback comes even from flawed sources. 3. Listen for understanding. You've avoided your typical reaction, your brain is working, and you've recalled all the benefits of feedback. High five. Now, you're ready to engage in a productive dialogue as your competent, thoughtful self, as opposed to your combative, mean girl self. As the person shares feedback with you, listen closely. Allow the person to share their complete thoughts, without interruption. When they're done, repeat back what you heard. For example, I hear you saying that you want me to provide more detailed weekly reports, is that right? At this point, avoid analyzing or questioning the person's assessment. Instead, just focus on understanding his or her comments and perspective. And give the benefit of the doubt here. Hey, it's difficult to give feedback to another person. Recognize that the person giving you feedback may be nervous or may not express their ideas perfectly. 4. Say thank you. Next, and this is a hard part, I know, look the person in the eyes and thank them for sharing feedback with you. Don't gloss over this, be deliberate, and say, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk about this with me. Expressing appreciation doesn't have to mean you're agreeing with the assessment, but it does show that you're acknowledging the effort your colleague took to evaluate you and share his or her thoughts. 5. Ask questions to deconstruct the feedback. Now it's time to process the feedback. You'll probably want to get more clarity at this point and share your perspective. Avoid engaging in a debate. Instead, ask questions to get to the root of the actual issues being raised and possible solutions for addressing them. For example, if a colleague tells you that you got a little heated in a meeting, here are a few ways to deconstruct the feedback. Seek specific examples to help you understand the issue. I was a little frustrated, but can you share when in the meeting you thought I got heated? Acknowledge the feedback that is not in dispute. You're right that I did cut him off while he was talking, and I later apologized for that. Try to understand whether this is an isolated issue. Example, a mistake you made once. Have you noticed me getting heated in other meetings? Look for concrete solutions to address the feedback. I'd love to hear your ideas on how I might handle this differently in the future. 6. Request time to follow up. Hopefully, by this point in the conversation, you can agree on the issues that were raised. Once you articulate what you will do going forward, and thank the person again for the feedback, you can close the conversation and move on. That said, if it's a larger issue or something presented by your boss, you may want to ask for a follow-up meeting to ask more questions and get an agreement on the next steps. And that's okay, it'll give you time to process the feedback, seek advice from others, and think about solutions. Constructive criticism is often the only way we learn about our weaknesses. Without it, we can't improve. When we're defensive, instead of accepting and gracious, we run the risk of missing out on this important insight. Remember, feedback's not easy to give and it's certainly not easy to receive, but it'll help us now and in the long run. Please support me by subscribing to my channel. Do well to like and share, comment. Thanks for watching.